Kelly didn't know where she was or how she got there. She was wrapped in a cloud of confusion and had only vague recollections of Moretti half guiding, half carrying her out of the club. Her head reverberated with convoluted echoes of a conversation in Moretti's car about where they were going, but she couldn't coalesce that muddle into a coherent thought. Something was drastically wrong, and Kelly instinctively knew she was in danger. She closed her eyes and forced herself to concentrate, to fight through the swirling fog, and then she suddenly remembered. She was in the lion's den. Moretti had brought her to his home. That definitely wasn't part of the plan. How long had she been there? Why did her brain feel like it had been put through a blender? Her confusion led to anxiety, which in turn elevated her fear. She needed to get out of there, now. Where was her purse? Her eyes desperately darted around the room, but her bag was nowhere to be found. Just then, Moretti entered the room from the kitchen, holding a bottle of Cristal and 2 flutes in one hand and a large bottle of Fuji water in the other. "Ah, back to the land of the living," he said. He crossed the room and set the bottles and glasses on a sleek coffee table in front of the sofa. "This is the good stuff," he said, as he began uncorking the champagne. "How long have I been here?" Kelly was alarmed to hear herself slurring the words. "About a half hour. You were totally out of it. When we got here, you said you needed to lie down for a minute, then collapsed on the couch." Moretti wiggled the cork loose, then let it dramatically explode from the bottle like it was shot from a tiny cannon. Cristal bubbled forth in a display of opulent waste. He filled the flutes and slid one over to Kelly, who shook her head. "I've had enough." Moretti grabbed the bottle of water, unscrewed the top, and handed it to Kelly, who accepted it gratefully. She took a swig. It tasted fine. In fact, it tasted great. Kelly chugged down half of the bottle before she stopped to catch her breath. She was still groggy and slipping in and out of lucidity. Kelly turned to Moretti. "What did you do to me?" "What? I didn't do anything," he said with what appeared to be genuine innocence and concern. Kelly shook her head, trying to clean out the cobwebs and achieve a burst of clarity. It worked at least long enough for her to realize. "Rofinol! You gave me a roofie!" In retrospect, it was blatantly obvious. Her cognitive facilities were still too murky for her to understand that she'd gone from the hunter to the hunted. But she was clear-headed enough to be outraged. "Do I look like the kind of guy who needs to roofie a woman? That's a total punk-ass move." He took a sip of the Cristal and smiled his approval. Moretti was handsome and successful. He wasn't the type to roofie a woman. Or was he? At this point, Kelly had absolutely no idea. Moretti saw the confusion on her face and offered up an answer. "I've heard a few of the bartenders at the Patch have been known to spike drinks of women who are there alone. When bartenders get off their shift, they go for the kill. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something in that spritzer you were drinking." Kelly took a pause. Maybe he wasn't the one who drugged her. Maybe she'd misjudged him. "Listen," Moretti said, "you were in bad shape at the club, so I brought you back here so you could sleep it off. I would have taken you to your hotel, but I don't know where you're staying." Kelly drank more water, hoping it would dilute the drugs in her system, but in her current state of mind, she couldn't recall if Rofinol reacted like that. In her current state of mind, she couldn't spell Rofinol. She put the bottle on the table. "I have to go. Where's my purse?" Moretti shrugged. "No idea. Maybe you left it at the club." Panic set in. "I need my phone, my wallet." "You can use my phone, and I'll give you cash if you need it." Moretti smiled. "I'm happy to take you to the hotel, but I seem to remember you wanted to know about my dirty secrets. You still interested?" So there it was, the lid to Pandora's box being lifted once again, its wicked mysteries huddled in a dark corner, making vague promises about creeping into the light. Unfortunately, Kelly was in the dark as well. She had enough self-awareness to know that she lacked the mental dexterity it took to lead Moretti to admit he'd committed vehicular manslaughter. But you never knew where the conversation might go. Another crossroad, another decision. Kelly finished the remainder of her water and nodded. "Okay, talk."